Hi there, welcome to my short video review of this Android phone from Fusion5. Now Fusion5 is a new UK company, so the phone's actually designed in the UK but assembled in China. So it is one of these cheap Chinese Android phones. So on the box you can see it's a 1 GHz quad-core processor, a 720p resolution screen. Can't see there, but it does have an Android 5.1 built-in GPS, 1 gig of RAM, 8 gig of ROM, video player, 5 megapixel front camera, 8 megapixel rear camera. That is pixelated to whatever you call it. It's upscaled to 8 megapixel. It's not 8 megapixel. It's not 8 megapixel hardware camera, it's software interpolated to 8 megapixel. And unusually it does support 4G. So if we have a look at the box, we have the phone itself, quite slim, very light, good looking, speaker on the back there, camera lens, dual LED flash. On the right we have the power button, volume buttons. On top we have the charger port, standard micro USB, headphone port, microphone on the bottom. And on the bottom of the front we have home button, menu button and back button. This does come with a screen protector installed already, which is handy. You also get a couple of interchangeable backs in the pack, so you can change the colour if you so desire. You get a standard UK USB charger, a micro USB cable and a pair of earphones. So, turning to the phone itself, turn it on the side there. You get the boot up screen. And take the back off. It's quite difficult to get off, but I did manage it eventually. It takes 2 SIM cards, your standard full-size SIM in slot 1 and a nano SIM in slot 2. Only one of them can be 4G. So it takes about 30 seconds to boot the phone. You get the Fusion5 logo. No sound on startup. Screen is nice and bright and clear. It is only 720p resolution, as I say, but it is quite sharp and clear. So, your standard Android screen. Have some apps already built in. I say it is Android 5.1, so it's not the very latest version, but it's, you know, it is a modern version. The screen is very responsive, I have to say. It's only the lightest touch needed. And as I say, the text is sharp and clear. You have a number of apps already built in. You've got Facebook pre-installed, FM radio, calculator, calendar, all the rest of it. So if we go to have a look at the settings, all the usual stuff. Set up your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, your SIM card, data setups. Now this phone features what's called Smart Motion, which basically means you can do hand gestures and things. The front camera checks for movements, and you can do stuff like silence the phone by waving your hand in front of it or turning it over, or you can flip it over to mute the speakers, that sort of thing. Answer by swing. And basically, as I say, just the front camera just checks for all these movements, and whichever way you move it, it activates the function there. But you also have gestures, which are quite different. That just shows you what to do, basically. And this is, you move your hand in a certain way, and you can activate, like swipe the screen across for your pictures, next track for your music, radio, video, that sort of thing. And we do also have wake gestures, which means you can draw a certain letter on the screen. If you draw C, you can have it'll boot into the camera. This is why it's locked. E for browser, M for music, all that sort of thing. You can turn these on and off as you wish. So if we just go to About Phone, you can see the model is Fusion5, Android version is 5.1. I can't do a wireless update at the moment because it's the Wi-Fi isn't set up, but there aren't any updates available out of the box at the moment. Look at our storage. So at the moment you've got a total of 8 GB phone storage, but only 3.48 available on first startup. Now these system apps, as it were, can't be deleted unless you root the phone, obviously, and then you can do whatever you like to it. But out of the box as it is, you can't delete these system apps, so you are only stuck with 3.8 gig of memory, which isn't really a great deal, to be honest. That's one of the things that lets down these cheap phones, that they have very limited memory. But I mean, if you're not going to install loads of 3D games or whatever, I did manage to install quite a lot of stuff, to be honest. Some simple word games and all the usual stuff like iPlayer, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all the rest of it. I did manage to install quite a few apps before I ran out of space. You can change the sounds to your profiles, vibrate, silent, what have you. Location services. It's a full hit Android screen, Android phone. It has got some additional software on top. So if you look at the icons for the standard stuff, you've got Gmail, which isn't the usual Gmail icon. So you can see that that's been added on to, that's an additional software over the Android system. Again, some people call that bloatware, which it serves no useful purpose, just takes up space in my opinion, but that's the way it is, and you can't change it unless you root the phone, as I say. So all your standard functions are there, The only thing that lets the phone down, in my opinion, is the limited storage. Simple games run perfectly well. The only game I had a problem with really was Heyday, which is quite graphically intensive, and as you're scrolling around your farm, you can see the limitations of the processor and the memory, and it does stutter a little bit. But it's perfectly usable. So I've really got no issues about performance wise. Camera, as I say, it is classed as an 8 megapixel, but it's actually interpolated to 8 megapixel. It's not hardware 8 megapixel. But the camera is not too bad, to be honest. We just take a quick picture of the box. You can see the sharpness. So that's in focus. Click there. And you've got your usual pinch and zoom. The text is sharp there. Sorry. So the camera is perfectly usable. I'm not sure what the low light setting is. These Android phones also have quite nifty camera software. and they do like auto panoramas and live shots, where you've got you can do like a little video before and after the picture's taken, that sort of thing. And there's, you know, there's beauty face modes, panoramas, as I say, and you can play around with it. There's quite a lot of stuff, live photo, and it also does video obviously, 720p resolution, and you can change the settings, all the usual. So would I recommend this phone? Yes, if you're not going to install a great deal of stuff, if you don't want to play the latest 3D games, whatever, then the phone is perfectly usable as a good Android phone. The only thing that lets it down, as I say, in my opinion, is the lack of storage. But if that's not an issue for you, then certainly by all means this phone is a good buy. It takes a micro SD card as well, up to 32 gigabytes. So you can store pictures and music on that sort of thing. So all in all, yeah, a nice, decent, basic phone. Thanks for watching.